Emisión.net.
Hello again and welcome to Letter from England, broadcasting for AC Press and the Spanish Evangelical Alliance. Last Sunday, 10 people of various ages were baptized off the shore of Tambo Island near Pontevedra in northwest Spain, in a ceremony which recalled baptisms of the past, carried out there in secret in a hidden bay on the island during the years of General Franco's dictatorship and even earlier. This year is also the 125th anniversary of the founding of Marín Evangelical Church, where the baptismal candidates of today attend. And indeed those of the past too, for Marín Evangelical Church was greatly looking forward to the event, both as a spiritual and a historic occasion. The church's pastor, Julio Torres, said, "We haven't chosen the island for sentimental reasons, but because the first baptisms in the region were carried out there." He recognized that things have changed greatly since the days of political repression and a lack of religious freedom. Today they can hold a baptismal service openly on an island which belongs to the Spanish Naval Training School. In fact, the naval authorities gave permission for the event, so long as the participants kept to an agreed section of the island at the beach where the baptisms were to take place. However, Torres admits that although the law says everyone is equal, a counter-Reformation spirit is still abroad, which discriminates against Christians. It's vital, he says, that we take all the opportunities we get, so that through them, people's view of us might change. The baptismal service was one of the high points of the church's 125th anniversary celebrations. Marín Evangelical Church is the largest in the region and has been a major point of Christian witness for more than a century. Way back on October the 8th, 1882, two people from Marín, Francisco País and Josefa Pazos, were the first people to be baptized by immersion, following the New Testament pattern. In secret and by torchlight, the then pastor Tomás Blamire baptized them, almost certainly in the sea off Tambo Island. Together with Portofelo Beach, which was well away from the built-up area in those days, the island was the place where later baptisms took place, according to information kept in the church's archive, English publications, and that which has been passed down through families directly involved in the baptisms. The Spanish Constitution offered very limited freedom to non-Catholics in the 19th century, and no public display of other religions was allowed. Protestant baptisms, which always involved adults who had professed faith in the Lord Jesus Christ, were seen as just such a public display, so had to be held in secret. Believers used to hold such services at night, so as to avoid unwanted attention from hostile neighbors or the authorities. In Marín, such clandestine baptisms were held between 1882 and 1899, the year in which they opened their first church building. They built a baptistry there, thus obviating the need for nocturnal trips to secluded beaches. Fishing boats were used to reach towns and villages along the coast with the gospel, where tracts were handed out and the gospel preached. Torres says, though, that during the Spanish Civil War, people were much more afraid to attend meetings because the authorities might note their attendance and put a black mark by their names. Northwest Spain was in the hands of the nationalists. Marín Evangelical Church had to put their property in the name of an English firm so as to avoid its being seized by the authorities. Full freedom, at least on paper, arrived in the new constitution of 1978. And last week's baptismal service was full of historic significance for Protestant Christians in this part of Spain. Plus the fact that it's not every day that one has to take a special boat trip to attend a baptismal service. But that was the only way people could attend due to military restrictions on the island. And before we go, I can't resist commenting on the visit of President Bush to the Vatican and to his conversation with Pope Benedict XVI. If the pastor in Marín says that a counter-Reformation spirit is still abroad, and of course Benedict has continued his belief or his plan of calling Protestant churches in Latin America sects rather than recognizing them for what they are. Well, therefore, the break in